All right, so I've never talked about SMMA before, and just bear with me here. First of all, we have an agency. For those of you who aren't new on this channel, I run an agency. It's called Better AMS. It's an advertising agency. It does around $100,000 per month. I've had it for a few years now, maybe more than that, 4 years now. Started it when I was 19. Now I'm 23. Fantastic. That's all the social proof you need to be able to feel like I'm qualified to talk about SMMA, even though I don't run an SMMA type agency. It's just an advertising agency, and I'll always just call it an agency because I think SMMA is very limiting. At the end of the day, you run a freaking agency, all right? And if you want to start a social media marketing agency, that's fine. You can call it that, but at the end of the day, it's an agency. So for you, if you aren't yet running an agency, you're thinking about getting started in SMMA, hey, I want to make this video for you primarily because look, I started my agency. I didn't really have any thought process go into it. I just wanted to start making money, and I didn't really think about it. But this is the most crucial question you really need to ask yourself before you get into SMMA, all right? Or start an agency. Again, I'm saying SMMA because, dear Lord, the amount of search volume around that term on YouTube is absolutely insane, and I'm trying to tap into the massive pipeline of traffic because this whole channel is dedicated to helping you grow your agency, and it seems like the entire world just absolutely loves that term, SMMA. Thanks to Ty Lopez and his first course that absolutely blew it up. So the point is that do you have an interest in running a heavily people-oriented business? Does that sound exciting to you? That's the question you need to really ask yourself, okay? And if you don't even think this is relevant, this is the most important question. So stay with me if you don't think that's important. Well, I'm going to explain why, and you can send some hate comment below if you don't think it's important and you think I'm giving you a terrible argument. But here's an agency, okay? I've scaled. I say I, but it's we, it's our agency. There's no way I did it by myself, or I ever could have done it by myself, but we've scaled to just over $100,000 per month. It averages, like last month, probably 94, 95. The month prior to that was like 104. It's in that range. Okay, now the point is that relationship building is the number one most important thing when it comes to running an agency if you're thinking long-term. If you want to build an agency and you want to get it up to 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures, hopefully you want to think as big as possible, relationship building is going to be number one. Okay, why is this? It's because the nature of an agency is people oriented. You are literally, your customers are people that play a very important role in the sense that you have 100 clients at $2,000 a month, you're making 200 grand a month. Whereas with like a drop shipping or FBA type business model, you need like thousands of clients, like I don't know, maybe 100,000 clients or customers, unquote, that pay you $2 for something to make 200 grand, or you need 10,000 people to pay you $20 for something to be able to make 200 grand. You know what I mean? The volume of customers you need with an agency is so small to be able to get to 7 figures compared to that of like dropshipping or FBA. Now, what am I getting at? Why am I comparing the two? Because the two are completely different business models, all right? Relationship building is what's required to be able to attract a client who's willing to pay you $10,000 per month or $5,000 per month, even $2,000 per month. Obviously, the lower your retainer is, the easier it is to be able to close somebody, and the worse you can be at relationship building. But even if you're closing people at 1,000 or 1,500, which is a smaller retainer, you're gonna need to be able to maintain that retainer. And people are not gonna freaking stay with you if you have no interest in developing a relationship with them. I believed when I was 19 years old and this agency started that all that mattered was results, okay? I'm pretty fired up about this point because damn, my 19-year-old self needed to listen to this video. But the point is that when I was 19, I truly believed that all that mattered was client results, and talking to the client wasn't a big deal. It was just something that was part of the process. They wanted to know that we're actually doing the work on the account, even though the results are there, and they're very obviously there because we're doing, advertising, PPC. We can clearly show them we just increased our sales by $50,000 in the last 2 months. It didn't matter. They still wanted to hop on the call and see that we were doing work. And not only that they wanted to see we were doing work, they want to know that you freaking care about them, that you actually love them, and you have a desire to be able to be a partner in their company and build a long-term and well-established relationship with them. If you have no desire, again, coming back to this question, to be in a business that is heavily people-oriented, where it's primarily relationship building, okay, not just with your clients, but also with your team, because it's the nature of this business is so processed, there's so much service delivery, right? So you need a lot of human labor, human resources. First of all, you need to be able to have great relationship building to get the clients, but then you need to be able to freaking hire lots of people to be able to service these clients, because it's not like dropshipping or FBA. And I'm using this as just a basic business model difference, because when you're doing dropshipping, when you're doing FBA, this is the kind of business model where you can do $500,000 a month with 3 people on your team. Okay, that's it. We have clients that are doing $500,000 a month, close to $1 million a month, and they have 2 employees. One guy probably even has 1 employee that I'm thinking about right now. So why can you do so much revenue and so much more profit with such a small team with that type of business? Because it doesn't require a lot of people. Okay, when you're running a brand that sells consumer-based products or consumer goods, again, you can pretty much just get an established brand, which is kind of like a fake human, and get people to resonate with that. And then they don't need to ever talk to anybody, because if you sell on Amazon, the support is dealt with Amazon typically. Even though you kind of handle the support, it's primarily done through Amazon. It can be done through chat. And you just don't need to actually talk to your customers. They just buy your product and that's it. You never need to talk to them. They just see your product, they buy it, and you never need to talk to them. And maybe they'll buy from you in the future if you do a good job of trying to foster a relationship with them, but you're not going to call every single customer that buys a $20 product from you every single week or every single month. That doesn't happen. So the nature of an agency is that it's high touch, it's high relationship, it's high service delivery, it's high human labor, human resources. Now, again, we have 14 people, about 4 full-time, roughly, I think it is, in our agency. And we do about $100,000 a month. Okay, so that's, if we 5x our agency right now, we'll have over 50 people, guaranteed. And that's a lot of people compared to FBA, where you can do $500,000 a month and you can only have 3 or 4 people on your team. In an agency, you're going to probably have more than 50 people on your team if you're doing $500,000 a month. Okay, so that's the big question for you: is do you want to be able to just run a business that doesn't have to have high involvement with people? If not, do something else. If that's exciting to you, great. Hey, the agency model is going to be really, very rewarding. If you're highly extroverted, you love talking to people, and you just want to talk to people, an agency is going to be a fantastic business model. Now, there's still a lot of technicality. There's still a lot of work that goes into the service element, but there's so much more work that goes into the relationship building, the hiring, the training, the retaining, the managing of your people and everything. There's so much work there compared to like FBA or drop shipping, where you can pretty much just be like an introverted technical person and be really good at like SEO or really good at like Facebook ads or Amazon advertising, and just be good at sourcing products from China, from Alibaba, or from a manufacturer in the United States, and you can throw it up on Amazon, have a good listing, have good copywriting, rank well on Amazon, make $200,000 a month, and you can pretty much have 1 or 2 employees. You can probably do it by yourself. I know multiple people doing over $100,000 a month by themselves. They have no employees. It's not possible in an agency. Okay, one-man agency doing $100,000 per month. I guarantee you there's maybe a handful of people on earth doing that. I don't even think there is, to be honest with you. I don't think there is any agency on earth doing over $100,000 a month, and the founder is the only person working in it. I'd love to see that person. A real agency that's doing done-for-you services. I'm not talking about consulting, because yes, consulting could be done at $100,000 plus per month, but I'm talking about done for you. So I should make that reference very clear. So that's it, ladies and gents, watching this video. For those of you considering SMMA, and I have no clear, this is the first video I've ever made about SMMA. I think it's ridiculous that most people who have a social media marketing agencies limit themselves to being just that, because at the end of the day, you have an agency. And if you're doing 100, 200, 300,000 a month doing social media marketing for your clients, you don't have necessarily a social media marketing agency. You have an agency, a marketing agency. That's it. Doesn't matter if you do social media, if you do radio, if you do TV, if you do Amazon advertising, SEO, Facebook ads, Google ads, Bing ads, you name it, you run an agency, a marketing agency to be more specific, and you could do anything that gets you client results. Now, starting out, it's fine to call yourself a social media marketing agency. I understand it's just a symbol used for marketing, used for lead gen, etc. However, please consider this question for those of you who are thinking of just getting started. And if you want to learn more about how to scale an agency, feel free to check out the channel. Feel free to go through all the other videos. And much love, guys. The only thing I ask for is you hit that sub button, you hit the notification bell, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So much love. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Ciao.